What's up, guys? How's it going, everybody? My name is Blitzwinger. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back at it again, better than ever, freshly showered, brand new gear acquired, ready to go on ahead and roast you guys as I am back at it again for a brand new Blitzwinger roast to your designs. Today on the docket, as far as this list that I have in front of me, we've got some Teen Titans, we got some Star Wars, we got some Marvel, we got some DC. Stick around, lots and lots to see. Now, of course, with that being said, guys, don't forget to go on ahead and give the video a big giant thumbs up if you guys enjoyed the video by the end of the video. I point it out right now because, well, it'd be nice if you didn't forget to go on ahead and smash the thumbs up to help out with that YouTube algorithm. In addition to that, let me know down in the comment section below your scores on the characters that we're going to be checking out today. And of course, if you want to submit your own Lego designs, you can do so on the Blitzwinger Discord page. There's a specific channel on there that you can go on ahead and submit your designs to. With all that being said, let's get rocking, let's get rolling. Design number one, please present thyself. Okay, so let's get started. It's Dr. Dom Doretto, because it's all about that family for the Fantastic Four. Our first design is a random made up character indeed, and it is the one and only Dr. Dominic Toretto. Yes, you heard me correctly, as in Fast and Furious' own, family's own, the greatest meme of the last 2 weeks, Dominic Doc Toretto is ready to strike. I don't even know how I could give this anything except a 9 out of 10. I mean, how do you go up against family? I don't think you could. So we're starting off, we're bringing the heat already. Honestly, things are already have been turned up spicy just because it's Dr. Dom Toretto and I can't go up against the family. So 9 out of 10, Marsh. 9 out of 10. Okay, I can respect that. The next design that Marsh submits is actually from the DC universe / Fortnite universe, or you know what? Let's scroll that one back. I'm gonna go on ahead and bring that one back and go with this one. And the next design that Marsh has brought us is from Fortnite, the character known as Armored Batman, because I think that's the ongoing meme, is that everything is now from Fortnite, especially if you're a Zoomer. You don't recognize that these things ever existed outside of Fortnite. It's just cool to point out that they only exist in Fortnite. And so Batman, welcome to the Lego form. And I don't know how I feel about this. So you use Lego Marvel Superheroes 2. I think I'm gonna give this, and this is generous, this is just because I'm in a good mood, I'm gonna give you a 7 out of 10. Let me know what you guys think of this Armored Batman design. I think it's, initially I was like, ooh, and then as I keep looking, I'm like, you know, you go from ooh to it's that sort of thing, you know. It's like if you go somewhere for the first time to eat, you take that first bite and you're like, oh, and then after you've eaten half of it, you're like, it's not that good, you know. That's kind of the impression I got with this. All right, so next up, we have a brand new submission, and this time, I respect that hustle, Stephen Pett. Now, the problem is that you guys are supposed to be submitting some straight up garbage customs, but the problem is you're knocking it out of the park, like Stefan did right here. So we're gonna break it down. He submitted 5 different designs for different suits for Batman, all, it looks like, based on the designs that we see appearing in the Gotham Knight video game. So he did submit the Earth 2 Dark Knight, which looks pretty good. I think that's out of that 5 right there, I think it's either the weakest or the second weakest. So I'm going to go on ahead and start nice and low and then work my way up through the design. So I'm going to give that one a 5 out of 10, which is the one that you see closest to you. That's the one with the black and red layout. Next, we have that classic blue, gray, and yellow design. Honestly, that is pretty much perfect. There's literally nothing that I could nitpick in that one, except the one tiny thing that I do notice is the utility belt. I think that you should have gone ahead and included the utility belt in that because it is so prominent on the design. Other than that, oh, hold up. I think you might have used the wrong cape also, because it looks like you used the flat cape, but it should be the one with the jagged edges. So those 2 little criticisms, but I will say that that's the best looking of the entire bunch. So I'm going to go on ahead and still give that one a solid 8.5 out of 10. Next, we work our way over another one to decide. By the way, that was 70s Batman. Then we have Batman Incorporated Batman, which looks okay. I mean, it is a pretty accurate rendition, I suppose. I just think you have to include more of those like black lines that he has on the attire. So I'm gonna give this one 7 out of 10. Then the one next to it, this could be tied for the worst of the designs, and that is Batman Beyond. Now, keep in mind, Gotham Knights Batman Beyond is kind of different looking as it is. Like, it looks very different compared to the classic Batman Beyond, because honestly, classic Batman Beyond almost looks like the Earth 2 Dark Knight that you built. But since you're going for the Gotham Knight design, I can't really criticize you for using the gray, but I don't know, it just doesn't look very good. I don't think it comes together nicely whatsoever. And plus, I think you still got to keep that bat logo. I think that it's Batman. You got to keep the bat logo. So utilizing the Aqualad piece, I think is kind of a little goofy looking. So I'm going to go with, I'm going to give you a 5 on that one. Just trying to be not super duper rude, but I think that one's looking a little yikes, a little sheesh, if you know what I'm saying. And then last but certainly not least, you have the Arkham Origins Batman. And I actually really think that one looks sick, even though it's a very, very dark costume. I think you did knock it out of the park, all things considered. Could have maybe tried to do that one with a darker gray in terms of seeing what that might look like, but I will give you still an 8.5 out of 10, tied up with the 70s Batman. I think those are the two strongest of the 5 that you submitted. So thank you so very much, Stefan, and hopefully you'll submit some more in the future, because there's other suits in that game. So if you want to tackle the others for a future submission, use the Discord in the description to go on ahead and submit those. All right, here we go. Next design is submitted actually by a member of the channel, Avenged Otter. Speaking of which, guys, if you want to become a member, link is in the description as well. Thank you so very much for your support. But Otter submits the design of Kurogiri from My Hero Academia. Now, it's kind of tough to go really harsh on these types of designs because it is so difficult to go on ahead and take something that unique and turn it into Lego form while capturing all the elements of the character. However, to be fair, a lot of this design is actually quite simplistic. Everything from the neck down on this design is pretty straightforward. It's pretty much kind of a business attire without a jacket. So it's, I guess, almost like a 3-piece suit, but without the jacket. So I think that you nailed, and it's pretty much a 10 out of 10. Problem comes in with everything above the neck. So I think that first and foremost, there are ways of trying to replicate that neck brace that he has, sort of thing. So I think that you could have done better there. And I still think, like, I like the eye choice, actually. I think that works really well. I think you could have done better with the hair, though. I think there's a few other designs that you could have used to get that effect to look a little bit cooler. In particular, had you used the neck brace, because I think that would have blended in nicely. But even with that in mind, I still think I got to go on ahead and give it like an 8, maybe 8.5, because everything else is correct. And the only criticism I really have here is the hair. I like to use the effect parts on the hands. I like that you chose that torso attire. It works super duper well and is very reminiscent and close to the actual design. So 8.5 out of 10. And so next up, we've got Teen Titans Assemble. You've got a representation of all of the Titans, courtesy of the one and only Mark_Spark. Thank you so very much for submitting these. And I really like how you submitted them, because honestly, it made it seem like you were even more accurate with your designs. So with that in mind, let's get rocking and rolling. First and foremost, we have Robin. I don't know why you cut off some of his head there. That's a bit of a... Seems like it'd be kind of a painful headache type situation, but let's see. So the only thing I don't like in this design, or I guess a couple of things that I would have changed in this design, again, utility belt, just like some of the criticisms I gave for that Batman design, and the hairstyle. I don't think it works all that well. Other than that, you knocked it out of the park. So I'm going to go on ahead and give you, you even got the colors to be like almost exact, which is phenomenal. I'm going to go on ahead and give you still a strong 7.5, but the things that are missing, I think, really hinder this design. So if you adjust those, I think you could probably get close to that 10. But right now, it's looking more like kind of a dollar store Robin. Moving on. Okay, so next up we have Beast Boy from that same Titans show. Again, you nailed the details on this one. The one tiny criticism I have here is the skin tone, I think you could have chose a different green. There actually is a green that is very similar to Beast Boy's skin tone, and then that darker green hair would have worked better, because I feel like now the hair and the face seem to be kind of similar. Now that could be just because of the quality of the image that you submitted, but that's the only criticism I have. And so for that, it gets a 9.5 out of 10. Literally change that skin tone, it's a 10 out of 10. There's legitimately nothing that you could go on ahead and criticize about this one other than that one detail. All right, our next design submitted by Mark Spark is actually Cyborg. Now this one, I gotta hit you with a quick fail on that, bro, because honestly, I mean, I like what you did with the shoulder pads, trying to go on ahead and capture that. I'm not sure why you chose the, I think that's the Deadshot torso plate. There's no yellow that I see on Cyborg's costume, unless if I'm colorblind and I am not picking up on it. I don't see any of that. It's mostly gray, white, and blue, and black, I guess. So that's kind of what I think you should have stuck to. I don't know why you chose to introduce the color yellow there. It doesn't really work. I think you did do an excellent job, by the way, of going on ahead and repurposing the existing Cyborg helmet into that cartoon Cyborg. I think that was actually really clever. By recoloring it blue, it kind of works. So I like the shoulder plate creativity as well there. And it looks like the arms are actually really cool designs as well. But I'm not a fan of the leg design. I'm not a fan of the torso design. So I'm going to go on ahead and hit you with a quick 5 out of 10 on this one. I know we went from a very, very high with Beast Boy to now kind of a low with Cyborg. Okay, our next design from Mark Spark is actually going to be Starfire. Now, this one I'm actually really pleasantly surprised. First and foremost, I appreciate that you did maintain the asymmetrical design, it looks like, on her armbands, where she only has the bicep armband over on her right arm. So I think that that's really cool that you actually paid attention to that detail. The hairstyle works. You even, I think, painted the eyebrows purple, which is crazy attention to detail. Interestingly enough, I don't know if that torso plate works all that well, especially because don't they have a Starfire torso plate? I'm pretty sure they do. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure they do. The skirt piece is accurate, so I can't really criticize anything there. Other than that, like, it's a pretty good design. The one thing that I would have maybe added is like her green energy blasts on the hands. Again, you have her in a different pose, so maybe it is there, or the effect parts are there, just not in this pose. But I think that could have been the only other thing that I would have changed, is effect parts, maybe a different torso plate. Other than that, you nailed it. So 7.5 out of 10. Pretty strong Titans so far. Pretty strong Titans. And of course, last but certainly not least, it's the one, the only Raven. And I gotta tell you, you did a pretty good job here. But let's take a quick step back and analyze this, because I'm pretty sure there is a torso plate that actually has that belt, the specific belt that Raven uses. So I think that you should have probably gone ahead and used that. I will give you some credit on the interesting way that you did the leg design. That's really cool in terms of recoloring that particular leg piece to go on ahead and create that look that she has. So I think that that was very clever. The problem, though, is that I think you should have used the existing Raven torso plate, remove that hip piece because it just stands out so much, and once again, add the effect parts on the hands, because I think it really would kind of seal the deal. So maybe add that kind of like purple, dark purple energy. And other than that, pretty darn good. Seriously, pretty darn good. So with that in mind, I'll give it the same rating that I gave the last design, a 7.5. Let me know what you guys thought of that entire batch of characters from the Titan. Now, in the next segment here, Jean Dark Shigaraki submits a magnificent design of Blackfire. As you can see, I could really tell, like, from here. All I need is a pair of binoculars and I'll be able to actually tell what I'm looking at. So once again, this is the segment where I mention, guys, if you're submitting designs for this show and they look like that, I can't give them a rating. Now, fortunately enough, Jean Shigaraki, or Jean Shigaraki, I apologize if I mispronounce your name. I'll just say Shigaraki from now on, just because I'm not sure if it's Jean or Jeanne. So my apologies. But Shigaraki did submit a much clearer and more zoomed in image of Blackfire from the Teen Titans cartoon. And I gotta say, it turned out pretty cool. I like that you have the effect parts present, and it's pretty similar to the design that we see for Blackfire in the animated show. So overall, not too shabby. I'm gonna go on ahead and give this one maybe an 8 out of 10, because if I recall correctly, in the Teen Titans show, I'm pretty sure, I want to say she had like a full sleeve for the metallic part. So I think that's kind of a inaccuracy, but other than that, you do have the metallic kind of pieces here on the torso, and then it looks like on the legs as well. So I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10 for that, but if I'm incorrect, then it's an 8.5 out of 10. Let's go next. Okay, here we go. Let's head to a galaxy far, far away, because our next design is submitted by LordSkeletor, and he actually submits Darth Revan and Purge. Now, I know who Darth Revan is, and that is not Darth Revan, but I will also go on ahead and immediately say that I have no idea who Purge is. So I'm going to just simply reference the image and then work through the design. So first and foremost, Darth Revan, I like the idea of using the multicolored lightsabers, so credit there. I also like the use of the torso plates, the leg piece, the cape, and the hood. So all of that is pretty good. Here are my issues. I can't really tell what arm guards you use, but it looks to me like you use just the ones with like the black sort of kind of triangular piece, which doesn't seem to fit in, because you can see on Revan himself, he has more of like an actual guard there. So I think you should have used something with a bit of silver in it. I think it would stand out better. And the faceplate looks completely wrong. Now, again, don't get me wrong. I've attempted to build this guy before, and I know how difficult it is, but I also have to be honest that you literally, it looks like, have a Deadpool with sunglasses on underneath that hood. So I think that needs working. And so for that, it gets a 6 out of 10, because I think that's really where it falls apart. Again, if you didn't tell me that that's Darth Revan, aside from the 2 lightsabers, I don't think I would have immediately jumped to Revan. And so because of that, 6 out of 10. Next, Purge. Here's what I'll say. Color-wise and little aesthetics, it does look like you're quite accurate there. In terms of like even the eye, the fact that you only have one of the eyes red, of course, it's the wrong eye, but I understand the limitations of the game and everything, even though you could have probably maybe used an eye patch to try to emulate that better. And maybe done a better job with the helmet as well by adding that kind of like under guard, or maybe even use a face mask, because there is the face mask item in this, like a face bandana. So use that. I don't know. I feel like there's some better ways of maybe doing the face. You do have the shoulder pads, which I appreciate, although I think they should have been a different color, because it looks like they're black or at least gray and red. So I think that is a bit missing. So I'm going to criticize this again, just picture comparison, because I don't know who this is. And I'm going to give that a 7 out of 10, because it is pretty close, and a lot of the aesthetics that are necessary, you did capture. So GG there, LordSkeletor. But we're not done with Star Wars, and we're not done with LordSkeletor, because he also did send in submissions for Cad Bane and Ahsoka Tano. Now, I gotta tell you, that Ahsoka Tano, as good of a job as I thought I did on my Ahsoka Tano designs before, you absolutely crushed my designs. I think that I can't believe I'm saying it, but that, oh, I really don't want to give a 10. But you know what? Within the limits of this game, that's a 10. So, poggers to you, sir. 10 out of 10 to Ahsoka Tano. I mean, everything is there. The hairstyle is pretty close. It's not identical, of course, because you would need that exact piece. But you have so many elements present. It's insane. I think that the use of, is that Tigra's torso plate is super clever. So I think that's sick. Legs look accurate. The colors all look accurate. I mean, you literally knocked it out of the park, dude. Now, Cad Bane, I think you captured some of the elements. Don't get me wrong. I know how difficult it is to do Cad Bane justice because of the limitations on the hip piece, where you can't recolor the hip piece to that color of brown. So because of that, that's why you had to like have that weird break between the designs. Had that been correct, I think that this design would be much nicer. I'm almost thinking of, is there any way for you to do the tubes? I don't think there is. The hat is accurate. You know what? I'm gonna give you a 9. So we went from a pretty weak start there with Revan and Purge, but this, honestly, 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10, you crushed it. Moving on. Okay, and for our last two designs, we have a nice little celebration of Snake Eyes, who will be starring in his own upcoming movie, and of course, the questions. So first and foremost, the questions looking pretty cool, although I'm not sure why you use that image as reference, because it really just makes it look like you did not do it justice, because it looks like a completely different look, right? Just in terms of, if you look at the color of blue that you used, looks wrong. And then coupled with that, the fact that you went ahead and did the short sleeve jacket looks a little odd. So maybe that's just you using the wrong image. Although in my mind, I can't even remember Question being with really short sleeves like that. I think he usually does wear like a trench coat type outfit. So that's a little weird to me. So I'm not sure if that's all that great. I like, obviously, the trick you did with the skeleton head to get that blank face going for Question. So I appreciate that. The attire is not bad, but it's also a really easy character to get right. So I'm a little disappointed that you didn't get this one right, considering he's so simple and such an easy character to replicate. But I'm still going to go on ahead and give you like, let's do a 7 out of 10 on the Question Snake Eyes. I like a lot that you did here. I think that the use of the Deadshot arms looks really cool. Maybe there's something you could have used that had the red insignia on the shoulders, though. I think that could have been kind of neat. And plus, I think you could have maybe accomplished that by having something red on the shoulder and then use the shoulder pads to create that like wider look. For the face, I think there's a better mask that you could have used. I'm pretty sure there's one that has like if you use Music Meister, I think if you use that mask and repaint it gray, it will look more like Snake Eyes' actual mask. So I think that's something you could have adjusted. Legs, okay. I think there's plenty of better options there, even though it's a little bit covered up by the text. But the sword's obviously cool, even though I probably would have painted that black instead of gray. And I do like the presence of a little bit of red that you did include on the torso and on the hip plate as well. Again, I don't think I would have done the mask the same way. And so for that, I'm going to go on ahead and give you another 7 out of 10. So there you have it, guys. That's another Blitzwinger roasts your designs in the books. If you want to go on ahead and send in some of your own designs, again, the Blitzwinger Discord is where it's at. Also, like I mentioned before, guys, don't forget, if you want to support the channel beyond just leaving a like, which is the best way to do so, it helps out with the YouTube algorithm. So thank you for those of you that take the time to do that. I really, truly do appreciate it, and it really genuinely does make a difference. In addition to that, you can go on ahead and also help out by commenting down below on the designs yourself, going on ahead and driving that engagement. So thank you guys so very much for your support. Of course, guys, if you want to grab some merch, link is in the description. Thank you for those of you who have been picking up the new hoodies. They are absolutely stellar getting ready for that winter season, even though we're like a month away. But to be fair, weather here in Canada has legit been basically like winter. I feel like we haven't really got summer going. It's like every time we start, we then take a step back. But with that little tangent out of the way, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys have an absolutely fantastic day. Peace out. See you laters, alligators. Bye-bye, guys.